Porsha Williams is rumored to be seriously considering reconnecting with her baby daddy Dennis McKinney. Porsha is going to turn the block, and I know her baby father is probably out here looking at God. Simon Dubidia is obviously enraged by Porsha's return to Dennis, but should he even have an opinion since he's already on to his next baddie? Also, Simon basically calls Porsha foolish. Baby, things just got extremely complicated, and I'm going to break it down, starting with Porsha apparently relocating back to her baby daddy Dennis. You'll recall that Porsha and Dennis began dating in June 2018, and 3 months after their relationship revelation, Porsha disclosed that she was pregnant with his child. Before we knew it, they were engaged. Unfortunately, Dennis cheated on Porsha with Wags Atlanta star Sincerely Ward, and the couple split up just weeks after their daughter P was born. But Dennis refuted the claim, saying, "These false and slanderous allegations against me are made solely to damage my reputation, jeopardize my ongoing businesses, and harm my family. My attempts to disregard this slander have just encouraged Latasha Keeb, as Tasha K, to make additional bogus charges. I am currently pursuing legal action and am represented by Michael T. Sterling of Dreyer Sterling LLC." Dennis had cheated on Porsha, which he subsequently acknowledged to Porsha.
When he told me he cheated because of postpartum depression, that I took it and it rolled right off my back like water off of a duck's back, because first of all, we still had he was my biggest support system while I was going through it. So all of that, I knew that that was just something that maybe had a piece of it, but I knew that wasn't the whole reason of why he had stepped out.
Imagine sticking with a man who blames infidelity on you for your postpartum depression. And Porsha said they went to therapy to mend things, but they still broke up. Although they were no longer romantically connected, Porsha and Dennis went on to create a healthy and supportive co-parenting relationship, with Porsha describing it as amazing on multiple occasions. However, now that Porsha is single, the two of them have been growing closer. And while it appears like things are moving quickly, keep in mind that this is Hollywood. Anyway, Porsha and Dennis raised eyebrows when they were sighted together at PG's soccer match. And I know you might think they are simply two adults co-parenting happily, right? Well, it's not only about co-parenting. Porsha has been leaning on Dennis at this difficult period, and Porsha's pals believe the two are rekindling their old love. One of them even hinted at the idea of them reconciling, stating Dennis has always been around. They have never had problems. And to be honest, he is probably the best relationship she has ever had. I can't say they're officially back, but from what I've seen, things are clearly headed in that direction. Ahem, fascinating. Prior to anticipation that Porsha will return to Dennis, there were allegations that she had moved on and been dating a wealthy African man who is married. There were few specifics provided about the man other than the fact that he is a married African man whose name begins with the letter C. So I'm not sure which of the men is actually dating Porsha, but Simon clearly dislikes the thought of Porsha moving on, and he's making it known. Wow, how arrogant of him to believe he should have an opinion when he's also been out here doing the most. First and foremost, this man was seen living his best single life in Miami at Live nightclub during Jeezy's performance. Even before that, Simon was spotted in a strip club, apparently throwing dollar bills all over dressed as if he was going through a midlife crisis, and there was one particular girl he reportedly was very close to throughout the night. But that's not even the gist of it, because now he's out here taking Janelle Salazar on some very expensive trips. Baby. It's not hard to see that Simon has moved on with fitness designer and influencer Janelle Salazar, and some began to question the couple's relationship after Janelle posted a series of Instagram photographs sitting in front of and inside a black Rolls-Royce. Simon has been posting about the same car, and he even showed himself leaning against it on the same day Jay did. Simon then fanned relationship speculations by commenting 3 fire emojis on a photo of Janelle in a bikini, and she reciprocated by leaving the same emojis underneath a video of Simon in the club. Simon and Janelle have had a few conversations in the comments section of their posts, But what convinced folks that they were together was when they began uploading Instagram stories from the same yacht in a tropical location. They didn't post any videos or images together, but the yacht from which they were both posting had similar features, and Janelle was observed wearing the same sunglasses as Simon in one of his posts. Honey. With these two both appearing to be seeing other individuals in the middle of a divorce, it's starting to look like they're competing. For whatever reason, Simon is upset that Porsha is circling the block, returning to her baby daddy, or even seeing anyone. And as for Porsha, she has been threatening to spill the beans about Simon, and fans concluded when she posted a now-deleted Instagram story saying, "If you keep telling your lies, I will start speaking the truth." She appears to have leaked additional data from the divorce file, including her attorney's request that Simon and his staff do not destroy, conceal, or modify any of his financial paperwork. In fact, she specifically requests that Simon maintain any income documents, tax records, expense records, and any recordings or documentation indicating relevant action by either party, and that if he fails to comply, he would face fines. Essentially, Porsha is calling Simon a fake, and there have been claims that Porsha allegedly revealed Simon's fraud accusations and immigration problems to the U.S. authorities after discovering he was cheating. To be honest, I did not expect this divorce to be so messy, but they are doing the most. How rapidly they can move on, especially because they're both rubbing it in each other's faces. However, supporters believe Porsha should not be upset because, according to her rationale, it is acceptable to date a man in the middle of a divorce as long as the divorce papers have already been filed. For those who recall, Simon and his ex-wife, Fallon Pina, announced their breakup in April 2021, and the next month, he and Porsha announced their engagement. Of course, many people said that Porsha had betrayed Fallon by toying with her boyfriend. But she defended herself by saying, "For all of you who need facts, I understand the optics, but Simon filed for divorce from a previous marriage in January. I had nothing to do with the divorce petition. That is between the two of them. Fallon and I are not friends, and Simon's divorce has been finalized. Our connection represents a great, caring stride forward in everyone's life." So if this is Porsha's rationale, she should be fine with Simon dating other women just after filing for divorce, right? And just when I thought we were done, Simon returns with a message for whoever convinced Porsha to divorce him. He stated on his Instagram story, "If you are the reason Porsha filed for divorce, please step up and accept responsibility for her mental state." A double S minutes later, he realized he had been a touch harsh with his statements and wrote, "If you are behind Porsha filing for divorce, you should own her mental state of mind. She did not come here on her own accord. Child, I had to read that at least 5 times to get what Simon was saying. But I believe he is basically saying that if you were one of the people who publicized Porsha's divorce, or was in her ear about it, you should be there for her mentally because she is losing it right now." Perhaps he was alluding to former housewife Claudia Jordan, who claimed in an interview with Baller Alert that Porsha was the primary income in their marriage. Simon reportedly left a dubious comment under the post, mentioning his ex-wife before Porsha, Fallon Pina, and telling Claudia, "I abandoned the Fallon bandwagon and am now chasing Porsha's. Claudia is exhausting. Wait, are we now battling Claudia? This is incredibly exhausting. Instead of putting on a show for us, Porsha and Simon should focus on what is important. Simon should focus more on his legal troubles and stop bleeding on social media, while Porsha should probably concentrate on her child and the mental health Simon is discussing." But as always, I'd love to hear your thoughts on how this divorce is happening in the comments section below.